Okay, I would like to make 3 announcements. 1, I had a new flooring recently, so there's some. If you see my last video, you might notice my flooring is a bit different, and I changed my floor. So enjoy my new floor. Seeing this new floor I just installed. 2. This is gonna be something, but I'm gonna be taking a break from doing reviews. Except for these 5. Except for this review and 3 more reviews I'm gonna be doing. And 3, this is something I want to talk about. Actually, let's review. Actually, okay, it's just 2. Let's talk about this. Rick and Morty, Season 9. Actually, I'm in Rick and Morty Season 3. Sorry, wrong season. For those wondering, Rick and Morty is a show on Adult Swim. I reviewed Adult Swim before, but that wasn't. But I did review a Samurai Adult Swim show, which is Samurai Jack, though that technically does not count due to reasons. Actually, I'm not gonna say honestly, I'm not gonna counting that as a show. I just want to review something that's actually aired on Adult Swim to begin with. The show has the same rating, TV 14, though one episode I would get on. That is this episode, I'll tell you later. So I decided, in celebration of the later on seasons I'll be reviewing, I decided when to talk about, actually, oh yeah, right, if you're wondering what Rick and Morty is. Rick and Morty is a show, well, Adult Swim, that, yes, it's the same rating, TV 14, though there's like one exception, yeah, you obviously. Sorry if I'm going out cue, I usually have my episodes unscripted, so I don't really write scripts for episodes and just say my overall thoughts, so. It's about Rick Sanchez, and Morty Smith, who decided why not to go on an adventures to every single other dimension and pretty much a lot of that. That's pretty much a summary of the plot. The first 2 seasons of the show was actually pretty good, and I do like. It's more comedy focused, and yes, even I do like this episode being a more comedy episode. I see the show's a more comedy-focused episode, and honestly, I don't take the show really that serious. Yeah, so there's I don't feel the show is that serious, so there's not really much to see, as the show's not that really serious, it's just more comedy-focused. The first 2 seasons. Season 3, on the other hand, is a much darker season, and honestly, I find this season to be one of the darkest episodes. I'm only going to be covering the first 5 episodes as part 1, as I'm going to cover these as one of part 1 of season 3.
Morty! Rick?
Sorry, copyright, I forgot to turn it off. Let's explain what I want to tell you. Let's talk about the first 5 episodes that I watched so far. Rick Sanchez's Redemption. The One Shot Redemption episode. Yeah, the title kind of feels like right. Yeah, because every single episode is always just it's redemption. So yes, I did like
enough to eat, grandson?
Yes.
You want another slice of bread?
Oh no.
Finish your egg, huh?
Okay, sure. Can you give me a fork or something?
Huh? What is that?
Can you give me a fork?
Huh?
Fork.
What is it? I don't understand.
Fork.
Fork ah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh. The episode takes place at the events of the Wedding Squash, the season 2 episode finale. Which was released 2 years ago. The story starts where we see Rick being in a family restaurant, actually in an American diner. Oh, it's new.
Amoy surat tenang. This one?
Okay.
Yes?
Yeah.
You eat ah.
Okay.
Eat the timun good, you know. Very healthy for your stomach. Very good.
Okay. Yeah. Don't why not this all? Anyways, let's continue. So Rick decides, after telling a weird story, how he escapes his prison, Rick decides smells a rat and an order. Jerry decided, so Rick decided want to order Jerry to fold 12 times. This is how I do this whenever my hands are too full. But only done 6. But turns out this is just a simulation. Yeah, actually based on Rick's memories. The Galactic Federation, given by the name of, and then we get to a name. Decided why not, since it reveals that he wants to get information from Rick and viewed by the brain link, aka the simulation. And by the way, this guy feels like a Fallout 4. Feels like this is like a Fallout 4 mission. Oh yeah, right. The agent makes it clear of what they want. By the end of the session, but he wanted to revisit one memory he wanted. Meanwhile, Morty and his family back on Earth decided the Earth is now run by the Galactic Federation. Jerry is now an under occupation, while Beth is just like lost her job due to the Federal's advanced medical knowledge. Which kind of makes her sad, honestly. Summer decided to save Rick, and even decided wanted to go. Oh yeah, it's kind of weird also there. I mean, before that there was also them eating pills. Anyways, we get to Summer. Morty helps it and finds a dead Rick. Oh! You may be wondering, why is there a dead Rick there? Is that a clone of Rick? Okay, for those who do not watch the show, if you watch the season 9 if you watch this first episode of the season, Rick Potion 9, is that basically Morty wants a love potion and then tells Rick about it, but then accidentally realizes that the flu dance is coming and realize after letting someone takes a love potion, it gone wrong. Everyone turns into weird beings. I'm not kidding, they all want love from Morty. So yeah, that's just straight up weird, and I know it's questionable. So anywho, back to the episode. So before continuing, actually I forgot to mention that it does happen that the original world became now the Cot world, which even Summer and Morty's butler, the robot butler Conroy, turns hostile after seeing the portal gun, realizing that this is Rick's, and went to the Conroy world, which you see is Morty's this is the original version of Morty's live. Again, feeling a bit cannibalism, and anyways, we get to some. And yeah, Morty gets curious about this world and all that, and even the portal gun there. And seeing Jerry, Beth, and Summer versions of them, except for Morty, he was just living in this. And the agents dispatch. And yeah, oh yeah, right. I want to tell you this. So currently, anyways, the Rick Council C team. Yeah, I would feel like I want to get around. Oh yeah, right. I would feel like I want to get around. Why is there multiple? For more Ricks and multiple Ricks and Mortys later. Well, if you have seen the episode Counter Rick Close Rick Counter of the Rick kind, you might notice that there are outside of this universe, outside of our regular universe, there is actually tons and tons of Mortys. Yeah, there's a tons of Ricks and Mortys, if you're wondering. They're in that Council Citadel. Which is gonna get, I will tell you later about more later. And I might cover it, I'll get around covering this episode, so. Anyways, meanwhile we get back to the Grain Link, and Rick decided why not to stop and make before he sees the tragic day. Rick decided to go get some drive-thru and get some chicken nuggets. And yeah, I know, the Szechuan sauce. Honestly, I want to be on the cost real quick. Is that I never knew this was a real thing. I just looked at it and just say, oh, this is a Mulan promotion, so yeah. I looked at this and I thought this was fake. Honestly, I thought it was fake. Actually, I didn't do my research right. Actually, it's real. And that photo that I thought that was just someone, it was real, not fake. Yes, I'm not kidding. This is actually real. And yeah, I was kind of weird. Honestly, finding that the Szechuan sauce. Finding weird about the Szechuan sauce in a more modern. Talking about something that is a lost group of. Also, I think I saw Milan, but I haven't really got around. I don't know. This was after anyways, after getting these. Okay, back to the episode. After getting Szechuan sauce, I realized this was actually Rick shows his agent a memory of how he lost his wife and Beth in an explosion. But turns out, oh yeah, right. While the agent was eating Szechuan sauce, I feel like I want to go get some. I feel like, yeah, sooner or later, I feel like if they were gonna I hope they bring back the Szechuan sauce as a permanent thing on the menu. That'd be great. So, yeah, I hope I can. I know I want it. Not. Back to my. I will. So yes, even realizing. Now, if you're wondering during that, he was also invested that, yeah, we get to some Yes, but it turns out this was just a fake memory. Yeah, you can still cannot reveals that it was a code that actually was giving a virus to him to go to the entire system, and that the memory they visited was a completely fragile origin story. It kind of feels weird. Anyways, we get to Rick being the agent's body, and at this point, and then the Rick CT, he goes, yeah, let's destroy them. No, hi Rick. Hi Rick. Okay, yeah. Despite this, it's actually Ida Ash 1 entries 7, and they pretty much killed him. Rick manages to, because after Rick being the agent, he actually kills the rest of the. Actually, yeah, Rick decided why not. I'm not gonna. I'll just call him normal. The show Rick, because there's also a comic book Rick, but I'm not gonna go talk about him due to they're not really related, and the comics are basically in a separate dimension. So I'm just gonna call him Show Rick. Show Rick decided wanted to go in one of the agents, killed the rest of the agents, killed the C team, and well. Anyways, decided wanted to go back to the Pfizer ship, and decided wanted to fly to the controls. Fly to get to the Citadel. Yeah, meanwhile also having Rick. Actually, also before that, during we see a scene with more. We also see Morty and Summer being walk into the dimension, and we also find this also. Okay, I'm gonna cough this out. Yes, there's a Gravity Falls. Yes, there's a Gravity Falls Rick and Morty's Gravity Falls version. Why am I not surprised that I feel like bashing my head repeatedly until I forget about this show? Why does this show want me to still remember that Rick and Morty is still a thing? Like, despite the fan base, and making the fan base, sorry. I'm just leaving shows dead. It's just usually my thing. It's just to make sure everyone. So it's more that. Anyways, before continuing from what I said, what had been cleared, but. Anyways, yes, after also talking to the captain, killed, he said, anyways, he transfers another body to the other, he said, he's a spy, blew him up, I'm taking a shit. Yeah, that's the iconic, that's really that's the badass line you can ever say. That's the awesomest line you can ever say, and whenever you're like a person who feel like a badass. After the Frederick. Then we get to a standoff between. Anyways, oh yeah, right. The Citadel is transported to the prison, and then chaos ensues. Anyways, the captain goes, I'm taking a shit. I don't get with what's going on. Then we get to a standoff. Yeah. Then we get to a sort of Mexican standoff, revealing that it's the actual Rick the show Rick that was here. And then decided wanted to kill the rep, shoot each other shoot all of us all. Then also someone shoots the show Rick and realized, and then after that, show Rick shoots is the last Rick. Council Rick, and if you're wondering, wait, how did you realize that was a fake gun, not the real one? Imagine you realize that gun that you hold. Anyways, after showing a fake gun should mean standoff. After they go to the Federation, change the dollar to a 0. Doesn't make any sense. I don't know what happened to all the money. Also, I don't know what happened to all the money. Anyways, the Federal goes crazy. They decide they want to leave Earth, and as well as all its aliens. By the time Rick, Morty, and Summer return home, Jerry once again becomes unemployed while Beth getting back to his job. All been safe and sound. Unhappy. Beth was unhappy with his father. Jerry and Beth decided wanted to be divorced. Beth and some. After we get to some weird science. Anyways, Rick says Rick reveals to Morty that after being captured, that was a Federation, and Jerry was dead. Because of the Federation. Jerry, he was sent to jail, and we get to some weird exploitation and weird stuff, including when they get a Szechuan sauce. And the post-credit scene we get to actually, and yes, even I would want to say this. In the post-credit scene, Budman's corpse was reanimated and becomes Phoenix person. And actually, that's kind of weird. Great name. Tammy flies off in the distance and pursues to take revenge on Rick. So far, we haven't had any, and that's the last appearance we get for this character. Well, unfortunately, I would like some more characters. I really like some character development. Yes, even it kind of feels weird on how this is just like, oh yeah, I am not dead. I'm okay. Actually, I know how to explain this. Overall, the first episode was actually pretty good, and I noticed it was an April Fool's Day joke, and it's great to see Rick and Morty come back to life. Not that really a great idea, perhaps, because everyone was thinking about that Samurai Jack was airing at the time, and this was at the time I haven't seen any episode of the Samurai Jack reboot. This explains why I never talked about the show that much. Now the next episode remains The Rock. You'll find out why. So the story starts with Rick, Morty, and Summer just fell down to the portal back to the garage. To their garage. After another Avengers, Jerry shows up to say, "Oh yeah, goodbye guys. Goodbye." And it's honestly the saddest moment in the season. And actually, I forget to mention this, but this show is going to be dark. I'm not kidding. I see this episode and realize this is going to be the darkest episode of the season. Honestly, this episode was a dark episode in my opinion. And, well, the reason why I'm saying this as a dark episode and yes, let's explain why my overall thoughts on this episode was kind of dark. Actually, I want to talk about why this season is going to go dark. One, there are a few evidence I feel. There are several evidence, even some scenes where let's continue this. So after some moment, I feel like it kind of feels like the saddest moment. Seeing one character, Jerry, going away, it's kind of sad seeing a character that we mostly kind of hate. home. It's kind of one of the saddest moments in this episode, and honestly, which actually let's explain that. I think. Anyways, after that, the win calls Jerry a loser for some odd reason. It doesn't. I don't know what's with the win. We never hear that win again until the last episode, until the end, until the post-credit scene. But I don't know what's with this win. Is he just want to give a middle finger to Jerry for being the worst character and the wimp, or something? I don't know. Anyways, after the intro, Rick portals to a post-apocalyptic world, and we get to a post-apocalyptic world, diesel-filled, like the Mad Max series, of course. These are pop cars, shotguns, and cannibalism. Rick goes to retrieve this powerful item. Retrieve this powerful item. Says treat E22. But he had to be seized by adventurous cannibalism, and also killing their Deathstroke leader. Honestly, up to this point, I find this. Also, in my opinion, this episode didn't feel dark, and well, there's numerous reasons why I didn't call this episode one of the darker seasons of the show, since I don't see the episode to be one of the darkest. Anyways, after we get some weird scenes, we get to Summer killing the leader, and yes. Anyway, slowly after we get to the post-apocalyptic, Rick tries to get. When he was ready to get actually, we get back to the normal base while Morty and Summer are trapped there, or in the blood dome. I can't feel like there are two other plots. There are actually three plots on this one. Morty, and the guy's arm. We never know who his name is, but he suddenly came up. I don't know who this arm guy is, nor we never knew who this arm character is. But he was also named Army, so we never knew who this character is. But he died. We never knew his origin story. Though we don't know what he looks like in his face, though, so we never know what he looks. Summer trying to survive also having a love interest again, another few love interests that that Summer has a lot. Anywho, let's continue. Anyways, yeah, there was a lot. Honestly, there's a bloodbath in this episode that makes it feel more action than drama. Aside from Summer getting interested in this boy that we'll get on later. And yeah, anyways, eventually I want to go keep this episode a bit short and a bit spoiler free. Actually, I think honestly this is a weird kind of. I didn't really skip next time, but still, honestly, the episode basically Morty. Oh yeah, right. Oh yeah, Morty eventually. Army gets his revenge. It's the king who sent the guy to kill him, and honestly having a blood pool. Summer getting divorced again, which kind of is actually another dark moment in this series. And that's it. Oh, and Rick eventually realizing that this crystal is actually a powerful energy source, and decided one after 3 weeks later we get to a Fallout 4. We get to a Fallout 4 episode. Why do I feel like a Fallout 4 joke? Yeah, I'm not kidding. This house scene kind of feels like Fallout 4. This house scene is like the settlement of Fallout It's like the setup summon from Fallout 4. I'm not kidding. That's actually. I'm not kidding. I'm getting a lot of Fallout 4 reference. I feel like this is like. Anywho, let's continue from that. Pickle Rick. Pickle Rick is honestly kind of the weirdest episode that I ever watched, but one of my at least pretty okay episode. The second episode was just actually pretty good. The second episode was actually okay, and mostly I'm just not gonna spoil the cut to chase. Rick turns into a pickle for a stupid reason. I don't know why he wants to become a pickle. No, honestly, it kind of feels weird, and yes, even I would feel like it's kind of weird how you turn your favorite character into a pickle. Oh, so yes, honestly, I'm just gonna say this, but yeah, I'm gonna be honest. It's kind of weird how you find is. Yeah, I'm just gonna say this honestly. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. Half the episode was actually pretty good. When oh yeah, right. Which actually picked Rick becoming a pickle, which is kind of weird. Then we get to. Yeah, actually, Rick decided on yeah. Well, Morty, Summer, and Beth are just going to go for therapy. Honestly, the therapy plot, the other therapy plot was kind of boring. As it wasn't really that action, but it was boring. Honestly, it was a boring episode. Okay, that plot was kind of boring, and one of my least favorite moments in the episode. In most of the entirety of the show. It's because one is because it kind of not much to talk about. They were just talking about Rick being a pickle. Yeah, that's it. Meanwhile, well, the main plot, well, Rick is just getting a new mech suit and made out of basically some rats, and I'm not kidding, made out of some rats. And even I do like some of the action scenes with the new armor suit, and it was honestly the action-packed one with his new exosuit and pretty much doing some parkour, and decided why not to start. And went to some random place that I don't know. I think it's a prison or something, which held one of the awesome characters in the one-time character, or he may appear in one or two more episodes. Character Jaguar. Jaguar was honestly one of the action-packed character. I'm not kidding. He was one of the action-packed characters in the show. He just straight up, man. Well, yeah, we get to a shooting out scene. Most of the episode during more of the action segments is kind of more action focused. Okay, yes, even I know they also still can't talk about. And honestly, them shooting each other is awesome. And then decided why not. Jaguar needs to save his daughter, and honestly, it kind of feels weird how. Sorry, where how he still mentioned and decided, yeah, after pretty much killing the main guy himself, after the office scene was going to originally blow up. So, by the way, Rick is Rick up. You've wondered what Rick got. By the way, also one of the guys said that his name's Sonia, the Pickle Man. The Russian word, skar, whatever that thing, I can't pronounce that, literally means salty food and works in the play. And yeah, it mostly sounds like a female name, though it's an awkward choice. Despite that, yeah, I know this is a nod to John Wick's, who is called Baby Yaga. I don't know what the hell is. Wait, what? 1 second. I'm gonna look for this up real quick. Oh, to use more defense or associate with. Oh, depicted mostly as a little person most of the time. Okay, that's actually something I would like to say. Yeah. Yeah, though this. Yeah, though. Anyways, after the Jaguar, after Rick decided when he came back to the therapy session, still boring, and decided why not to go home after Rick changes back to his normal human being self, and that's about it. Post-credit scene: Rick and Morty are tied up to a giant piano and was about to be killed by Carta. Yeah, the guy from the intro! Finally, something that's reminiscent from the intro. And he was instantly killed by Jaguar. I know you wanted an episode about him, but honestly, this season it's kind of weird how they just used this. Unfortunately, he got dead. Anyways, then we get to more. They met Millie while they weren't there. Let's see. Actually, while Morty, Summer, and Beth were at vacations. So, yeah. So let's explain what I'm thinking about. Do more reviews on the show. Now, there was a lot of episodes I'm going to cover throughout the entirety of the show, so let's talk about some more things I feel like I want to cover. The next episode, Vindicator's Tree, the return of the World Ender, and I want to keep this short as possible this episode. Let me tell you what this episode was overall. The darkest episode I ever seen on this show. This episode was the only episode that has the TVMA rating for some reason. Yeah, this episode was an TVMA. Yeah, I'm not kidding. They just got a TVMA on this one, only for this episode. And yeah, this is another episode where, and yeah, I do like the episode's force. So the story starts where Rick and Morty are just doing whatever these creatures are, but they want to and can be avoiding the food chain, and honestly, that when they call it from the Vindigators. And let me explain. And also, I do like a nice little foreshadowing with the 10 adventure thing, which is obviously a reference to the. This is the same episode that I invented. This is the same episode that I invented. What about that? This episode, yeah, this was a more subplot episode where during the episode, Rick and Morty goes on more of these adventures, and I do like the joke about it. Anyways, continuing from that weird episode. Anyways, Rick and Morty said at the con briefing about supernovas, the threat of the world ender. And then he had to set plans, feeling, and then Rick was drunk and had some constant diarrhea and new cleaning. Honestly, after they reached the world ender and seeing the world ender being dead, killed by Rick while he's drunk, this got pretty dark. I'm not kidding. This episode just got this show from being this is one of the darkest episodes from the season. And let's be honest here, I'm just gonna say this, but this episode is the darkest. I'm gonna say this is the darkest episode. Mainly because the episode has some pretty much more gore, killing off a few characters one by one, and Supernova coming out alive. I And honestly, this episode was one of the darkest episodes, and I just felt like, Jesus, this episode was one of the darkest. I would like to know that, I wish that this kind of weird, and honestly, this episode was like, I see this episode and just killing off some, and yeah, it does feel like a more, mostly jokative on the, and I know this episode was somewhat of an homage to the Guardians of the Galaxy, but really it does feel like they're just trying to, I know, I do love the Guardians of the Galaxy, and actually I haven't seen the films yet, so yeah. Also, the question thing kind of feels like Saw in the mix. Honestly, this episode was one of the darkest episodes I've ever seen in this entirety of the show. And yeah, I'm making this short because I don't feel like covering every single one of their deaths. You can even watch the episode to see that. And last but not least, the Whitey. The wily dark conspiracy. Let's review. So the episode start. So this episode was really got great character development between Rick and Jerry. It was an honest episode. I do like this, while also Summer being big. Growing Summer, and yeah, even despite the end, despite that, I don't want to go spoil too much of this episode since this is actually recently released. I'm honestly gonna say this episode is actually pretty good. It was actually pretty good. It's well, I do like some of the, I do like the moments. I do like some character development between Rick and Jerry, and yeah, some moments I kind of feel funny. Some moments I do feel like it should be explained. Most of this episode was actually pretty good, and honestly, for a second there, yeah, after this episode and Jerry being coming, and even there was also that one acid trip scene, I honestly find this episode to actually be pretty good. So yeah, the best side plot was actually also pretty good, though I think also even the ending was, the post-credit scene was kind of just the weirdest one where, I'm just gonna be, it's kind of weird how the ending, say it's kind of, actually, let's finish this off. Overall,
Hello,
sorry about that. I forgot I had this. Sorry for a bit of your wreck. Actually, let's explain something I want to say to find out more thoughts about this season. Actually, let's explain what I want to say. Now, so far, my wish list for this is that the rest of the episodes is gonna be maybe trying to, but I hope the season, at least the season finale, is gonna be about basically Jerry getting back with Beth. Yeah, that's what I feel like. Jerry getting back to Beth, and it's honestly one. And yeah, even I wanted them to get back as one. It's kind of sad after their divorce, and I wish they will come back together and how they get remarried maybe in the next season. I hope they come back to the next season, and I hope they get some, and I hope they get back together maybe in this season or two. But for anyways, Anyways, anywho, I'm just gonna. Anyways, I gotta go. I think that should be enough for the episode. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to comment, comments for my channel, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye. Bye.